Good morning, everybody. It's June 20th, 2025, and I thought I was finished with this, but I'm going to do more. Now, so just to keep in mind, when we do something like this, uh, the opposite of yellow is there's opposites. It's a color science. I'm not quite sure, you know, beyond just what I was taught, which is what I'm about to share with you, which is that there are opposites in the world of color. The opposite of yellow is it's called complementary colors, and the science of color is that the opposite of yellow is purple or violet. You might ask, is that a scientific opposite or is it just a man-made designation? In this interesting food for speculation, then you get into electromagnetic energy and light waves, properties of light. Is light, you might ask, the person might ask, is light, let's get that situated there a little better. Is light energy? Is it matter? Matter being a physical, what matter is, there's a definition of matter and there's a definition of energy. Light has properties of both being energy and matter, strangely enough. We're in the Bronx in New York. You hear the sounds of the city outside this very nice workspace. And right outside is just a crazy city, a crazy world out there. I don't know if anybody saw What About Bob with Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. It's really a spoof. It's not even a spoof. It's kind of like a night. It's like a psychologist. If you're a psychologist, I could imagine that movie would be like a kind of a nightmare comedy. And I found it to be very funny, but I digress. So if violet is the opposite, the point is that when you're painting, I think better to show you. So even though this is not quite violet, this is, they're calling it a red gouache. I mean, there's not even really a title on the tube. If there is, I'm not concerned. We're mixing up a kind of a violet. We have a nice bright, almost alizarin crimson that we're bringing down to a kind of a blue violet. Let's see what happens. Interesting. So all of a sudden we have a new element in our design, which it's still isolated, meaning all of a sudden there's this like little yellow moth-like, butterfly-like concept, which we need to do a little more than that. So let's just say something like that. And we're still developing it, but I don't want to do too much at once. That's the thing. The tendency that I have is to say, oh, the audience needs to see more. Let me try to do more, and then I mess it up. So let's just try not to do too much. And, it's kind of interesting what can happen when you kind of just don't try too hard, but you try, but not too hard to do something. And then you kind of, which is why we're doing a flip around thing here. Because it helps me to, teach myself, basically. I haven't painted in years, kind of like having your chops in music or in math. Your brain, your spirit, your creativity, your physicality is all intertwined. And I want to say a special thanks and shout out to teachers everywhere, and my teacher in specific, for teaching me that. Because, the last thing I'll say, I recommend a book by Paulo Coelho called The Alchemist. It has wisdom, that book, more than just being a story, although it's a great story. Okay, I'm going to sign off for this segment. We're going to develop this. And the signature you see here, I'm going to get rid of it or ignore it or let things develop down here. I have a problem up here, which is how am I going to fit a butterfly or a moth or whatever in here? And then up here, the problem is how I'm going to make these butterflies kind of fade into the design and incorporate. June 20th, 2025.